It's really kind of wild to see just how fast markets can change, right? Like
Huh.
right now, the legal cannabis industry is booming all over the U.S., and it's crazy how, alongside that, we're seeing this huge surge in the market for all these custom smoking accessories.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we're talking water pipes, glass bowls, downstems, nectar collectors, things that people used to consider kind of, I don't know, niche.
Yeah,
They're totally becoming mainstream now.
totally.
And it doesn't matter if you're like actually in the industry or just someone who likes to keep an eye on market trends, or maybe you're just curious about like big shifts in what people are buying. Like this is definitely something worth paying attention to.
Oh, absolutely. Like this whole sector is finally like, I don't know, coming of age or something. What used to be kind of an informal, I don't know, under the radar market is now a real driving force in the economy.
Exactly.
And whenever you see that kind of growth, one thing becomes super clear. You need really solid wholesale suppliers.
Oh, 100%.
Like, if you're trying to jump on this, whether you're a distributor or you own a shop, or even if you're thinking about creating your own brand,
Yeah.
nailing down that supply chain is absolutely essential.
It's make or break, really, and that's what we're digging into today. So think of this as like your all-access pass behind the scenes to figure out what really makes a top-notch wholesale supplier, especially in this world of glass accessories that's just exploding right now.
Right.
We're going to lay it all out, the must-haves, the deal breakers, everything that makes a wholesale partner truly top tier.
Exactly. And to give you a real world example to kind of hang all this on, we're going to be focusing on a company called CloverGlass. They're based in China, been in the game for over a decade, and they really seem dedicated to supporting businesses here in the US, distributors, wholesalers, smoke shops, the whole nine yards.
Gotcha.
One thing that jumped out at me, and I bet this will resonate with a lot of you listening, is that they manage their own warehouse right here in Los Angeles.
Okay, so right off the bat, that's a huge plus. I mean, whenever you're thinking about sourcing anything from overseas, the first things that pop into your head are, oh man, customs, and what if the shipments are always late?
Oh, really?
So our goal for today is simple. We're going to figure out what makes a truly great wholesale supplier in this crazy cannabis accessories market. And we'll be using CloverGlass as our case study to make all these points really clear.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get down to business. So when you're looking at potential wholesale suppliers, what are the absolute non-negotiables? What are those things that make you say, nope, not going to work?
Well, first thing that's got to grab your attention is product variety, and not just variety for the sake of it, but a real commitment to keeping things fresh, to innovating.
Right.
The cannabis market, especially on the consumer side, they are hungry for what's new, what's different. Think about it. You've got the demand for all kinds of colors, glow-in-the-dark stuff, those crazy recycler water pipes, even those mini dab rigs that are so portable.
Yeah, totally.
If your supplier is just churning out the same old stuff, you're going to get left in the dust.
For sure, for sure. It's not just about having something that works anymore. People want style. They want something that feels unique, like it reflects their personality.
Exactly.
So what about Cloverglass? What are they doing to make sure their product line is exciting and diverse?
Well, first of all, their catalog is massive, over 10,000 different products. And get this, they're adding new styles like every single month.
Right.
This constant flow of new stuff, that's what keeps you in the game, keeps people interested. And they cover the whole spectrum from those classic glass water pikes, the beaker styles and the straight tubes,
Yeah.
to a really wide selection of bowls. They got the popular 14 millimeter and 19 millimeter sizes. Plus, they're diving deep into more specialized products like those dab rigs, the recyclers we talked about.
Yeah.
And they're not forgetting the little things, the downstems, the ash catchers, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Even silicone pipes and grinders, and they're smart enough to realize that people want custom packaging options.
Right. Gotta have that.
But the point here isn't just about having a huge catalog, right? It's about you, the business owner, having the power to really target specific types of customers and being able to shift gears quickly as trends change. That's huge in this market.
It's so key, yeah. Having that kind of choice with just one supplier, it definitely simplifies things on the buying end.
Yeah, big time.
All right, so we've talked about having a great selection. That's a must.
Yeah.
But what's next on the checklist? What else is absolutely critical?
Reliability, hands down.
Okay, yeah, reliability.
You got to be able to count on your supplier, like on-time deliveries, no excuses.
Oh, tell me about it. I've heard so many horror stories about late shipments, stuff getting stuck in customs. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, totally. In this game, if you can't keep your inventory flowing and your customers happy, you're done. You lose sales, you get a bad reputation. It's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
That's why a top-notch supplier needs to have their fulfillment process down to a science. And this is where that CloverGlass warehouse in LA really shines.
All right, so tell me more about that. How does having a warehouse here in the U.S. actually change things for businesses?
Okay, so imagine this. For stuff they've already got in stock in LA, they can ship it out the same week you order it.
No way.
No more stressing about international shipping times, no customs drama.
Right.
Plus, you can even pick up your order directly, or they can arrange local delivery.
That's amazing.
What does that mean? Lower shipping costs, faster turnaround, you're not sitting around refreshing tracking numbers, you're not dealing with customs paperwork.
Oh my God, that's a lifesaver.
It's a total game changer. You're basically taking all the risk out of the equation. Faster deliveries, lower costs, less hassle, it all adds up to more money in your pocket faster.
I love it. It's like they took all the headaches of importing and just threw them out the window.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got variety and reliability, two huge check marks. What's the next big thing businesses should be looking for?
Customization. It's not just important, it's essential, especially in 2025.
Okay, yeah, customization, that's hot right now.
Building your own brand, doing the private label thing, that's how you stand out from the crowd. You need a supplier who's not just going to hand you a bunch of products. They got to be a real partner, someone who helps you bring your brand vision to life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
In a market this crowded, having a strong brand is everything, right?
Yeah.
So what does CloverGlass offer in terms of customization? How do they actually help you build your brand?
Okay, so get this. They offer both OEM and ODM services.
Okay, break that down for me. What does that even mean?
So OEM is original equipment manufacturer, which basically means they can take their existing products and slap your brand name on them.
Gotcha.
Great way to get started quickly. ODM is original design manufacturer, and that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, yeah, tell me more about that.
This means they can create completely custom products, totally unique designs based on your ideas. So you're not just rebranding, you're creating something totally new.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool, right? And they can handle the whole process from design to manufacturing. As for the actual customization options, they've got it all. Logos, you can get those engraved, printed, even UV reactive for a little extra flair.
That's cool.
You need specific colors to match your brand? No problem. They can use colored glass rods sourced from the US and India to get a perfect match.
Oh, wow.
And then there's the packaging.
Yeah, packaging is huge.
They get it. They can do custom boxes, even complete kits that are ready to go right on the retail shelves.
Oh, I love that.
And here's the kicker. They provide high-res product images, totally free. You can use those on your website, social media, wherever you need them.
Genius. That's a huge time saver.
So yeah, OEM for quick and easy branding, ODM for taking things to the next level. They've got all the bases covered.
That is a seriously impressive suite of customization services. I mean, they're thinking about everything from the product itself to how you market it.
They really are.
All right, so we've covered all the shiny, exciting stuff, but let's talk about what happens after the sale is made. What about that after-sales support? You know, the stuff that doesn't always get the spotlight, but is just as important.
You're right. That's where a supplier can really prove their worth. Problems are going to pop up. It's inevitable. Things get damaged in shipping. You know the drill.
Yeah, happens.
A good supplier will stand behind their products, make things right without a ton of hassle. And CloverGlass seems to get that. They promise a 24-hour response time, so no waiting around wondering what's going on.
Okay, good.
And if something gets broken in transit, all you need is a photo, and bam, full credit.
Wow.
That kind of quick response and accountability, that's peace of mind right there.
That's huge. Knowing that you have that kind of support lets you focus on your business, you know, without constantly worrying about problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the big picture, the qualities of a great supplier. Now let's dive into some of CloverGlass's specific products.
Sounds good.
What do they actually offer? And let's start with something that's always in demand. Glass bowls.
Yeah, glass bowls are like the bread and butter, always selling, always needing more.
For sure.
CloverGlass has a really diverse selection covering all the standard sizes, 14 millimeter, 19 millimeter, male, female, you name it.
Nice.
They've also got different shapes to appeal to different tastes. Deep bowls, flat tops, squares, even funnels.
So many options.
And for the folks who want those little extras, they've got bowls with built-in screens, handles for easy gripping, and even multicolored designs.
Cool.
All made from high-quality borosilicate glass, so you know it's durable.
Oh, very important.
And here's something that's really great for smaller businesses or anyone just starting out. The minimum order quantity for stuff they've got in their U.S. warehouse is just 50 pieces.
That's really low.
And of course, you can customize them with your logo and packaging.
That low MOQ for the US stuff is such a game changer. It really makes a difference in managing your inventory and your cash flow. Okay, let's talk downstems. They may seem like a small detail, but I feel like they're super important for how a water pipe actually functions.
Oh, they're way more important than people realize.
Yeah.
Downstems, they control how the smoke flows through the water, how it gets filtered. It all impacts the overall experience.
For sure.
CloverGlass offers a bunch of different lengths, your standard 3, 4, and 6 inches. Plus, they've got options for different diffusers, which helps to cool down the smoke and filter it even more.
Okay, so they've got the functionality down.
Yeah, and they've got style options too. You can choose between frosted or polished joints for that perfect airtight seal.
Nice.
And of course, clear or colored glass to match your vibe.
Gotta have options.
Branding, of course, is available. Plus, they pointed out that downstems are a great upsell item. When someone's buying a new bond, why not grab a downstem too? And they made sure their downstems are compatible with all the standard beaker bongs out there.
That's smart. Gotta love a good upsell opportunity.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Okay, so let's move on to something that's super trendy right now. Nectar collectors.
Oh yeah, nectar collectors are having a moment for
They're
sure,
so hot right now.
especially with the concentrate users.
Yeah.
They love the portability, how easy they are to use for dabbing. And CloverGlass is right on top of this trend. They've got glass models, silicone models, something for everyone at every price point. Some of their nectar collectors even come with optional water filtration attachments.
So you can really customize the experience.
Exactly. And the designs are super smart. They usually have like a modular design so you can switch out parts, the tip, the body, the chamber. And for the tip, you can choose between quartz, titanium, or ceramic. Each one heats up a little differently.
Oh, interesting.
The silicone ones often come with sleeves for better grip and portability. And if you go for the glass body, you can get some really cool features like percolators or recyclers. And of course, you can get your logo on them and color match them to your brand.
It seems like they're really paying attention to what people want, especially with all those nectar collector options.
They are.
So we've covered bowls, downstems, nectar collectors. What else do they have?
Oh, they've got a whole lot more. They're glass recyclers. Those are kind of their signature thing.
Oh, cool.
And they release new recycler designs every single month. That says a lot about their commitment to innovation. They also have mini dab rigs for people who like to keep things compact.
Nice.
And silicone water pipes, which are perfect for travel, super durable, easy to clean.
I could use one of those.
They've got grinders too, 2-piece, 4-piece, magnetic lids, all kinds of options. And they even stock those high-quality quartz bangers and nails for the oil rig enthusiasts. But the common thread across all these products, you can brand them, and they all have that awesome low MOQ from their LA warehouse.
So it's not just about those core pieces. They're really offering a whole ecosystem of products.
They really are.
Okay, let's go back to branding for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on their customization services earlier, but can you give us more details on exactly how they help businesses build their brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So remember we talked about OEM and ODM support? Well, they go all out with that. For logos, they can laser etch them for a really sleek, permanent look. Or they can do direct printing, which is perfect for bright colors and complex designs. And if you need specific colors to match your brand, they've got you covered. They actually use colored glass rods sourced from the US and India to get that perfect match. It's a really high-quality touch.
Oh, very nice.
And then for those folks who are really serious about bringing their own unique vision to life, that's where the ODM services come in. They can create custom molds for you, so you can get a product that's completely one of a kind.
That's amazing.
And to add even more personality, they offer artwork and decals, everything from stickers to UV logos, even glow-in-the-dark stuff.
So cool.
They've thought of everything.
So that covers the product itself. But what about presentation?
Yeah, that's important too.
How do they make sure your products look awesome, whether they're on a store shelf or arriving in someone's mailbox?
Well, that's where their packaging game comes in. They offer a bunch of different options, all retail ready. They start with those foam-lined boxes to keep everything safe during shipping. Then they can create custom boxes with your brand all over them, really make it pop.
It's all about the details.
And they can even add things like QR codes or info cards to give people more info about your brand or maybe some special deals.
Love that.
Oh, and if you want to offer like a full-on experience, they can even put together gift kits, bundle a bowl with some tools, a down stem, all in a nice branded package.
So smart, makes it so much easier for the retailer. But
Exactly.
remember, you mentioned they offer marketing support too. That sounds super valuable, especially for new businesses that are just starting to get their name out there.
Yeah, they really go the extra mile with that. They understand that in today's world, you got to have great visuals online, especially if you're selling anything. So they include high-res product photos with every order, so you can use them on your website, social media, anywhere. And if you need more, they can do lifestyle shots, people actually using the products, or even those fancy studio photos that look super professional.
Wow.
They can even make short videos of their products, which are super engaging for online audiences.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
yeah, they're basically saving you a ton of money on photography and videography.
That is a huge bonus.
Yeah.
High quality images are non-negotiable these days.
Yeah.
Okay, let's circle back to that U.S. warehouse for a minute.
Yeah.
Can you remind us about the specific ways it makes things easier for businesses, especially in terms of their supply chain?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really tackles all those common problems that come with sourcing stuff from overseas.
Yeah.
So for anything that's in stock in their LA warehouse, you're looking at a delivery time of just 3 to 7 days within the US.
Oh, that's fast.
And they're flexible. You can pick your order up yourself, or they can arrange truck delivery if you need it. But here's the really big thing. CloverGlass handles all the custom stuff.
So I don't have to worry about any of that.
Nope, not at all. They take care of all that paperwork, all that hassle, so you don't have to.
That's such a relief.
And because it's all domestic shipping, your costs are way lower.
Of course, yeah.
No hidden fees, no surprises. Plus, they've got a ton of inventory in that LA warehouse, like over $1 million worth of stuff.
Seriously.
Yep. So they can fill orders super quickly, no more waiting for those slow boat shipments from China.
That makes a huge difference.
And they've got all these extra options like split shipping for big orders, pre-orders so you can lock in stock for hot new products, and they even give real-time inventory updates to their regular customers.
So it sounds like they've really put a lot of thought into making the whole supply chain experience as smooth as possible,
They really have. It's all about efficiency and transparency.
which is what you want, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now let's talk quality.
Okay.
What kind of standards does CloverGlass have? And what kind of guarantees do they offer to make sure customers are happy?
Quality control is a huge deal for them, especially when you're dealing with something as delicate as glass. They start with the best materials, high-grade borosilicate and quartz glass.
Okay, that's a good foundation.
And the people who make their products, these are experienced artisans. Many of them have been doing this for over 10 years.
Wow.
They even use a process called annealing, which is basically a way of heating and cooling the glass really carefully to make it super strong and less likely to break.
Oh, interesting.
And before any product leaves their facility, it goes through a ton of inspections, both visual and functional. They really don't mess around.
So they're taking all the right steps to make sure the products are top-notch.
Yeah.
But what about shipping?
Yeah, that's always a concern with glass.
Even with the best quality, things can get damaged in transit. What does CloverGlass do to prevent that?
They're really serious about packaging, like professional grade stuff. Each piece gets individually wrapped in bubble wrap or nestled in those custom cut foam inserts. Then those go into retail boxes or branded cartons, depending on what you need. And then all those individual boxes get packed into these super tough export cartons that are designed to take a beating.
So they're basically building a fortress around each piece.
Pretty much. And of course, everything is clearly labeled with a product info, barcodes for easy tracking, and your branding.
So organized.
It's all about minimizing the risk of anything getting broken during shipping.
But even with all that, sometimes stuff happens.
It does, unfortunately.
So what's their policy on breakage during shipping?
Super simple, super customer friendly. If something arrives broken, you take a photo, send it to them, and they give you a full credit.
That's easy.
No arguments, no hassle. They've also got a dedicated customer support team that's available 7 days a week if you need help with anything. And for businesses that keep coming back, they keep all your mulch specs and product info on file, so reordering or doing exchanges is a breeze.
That's so smart. They've really thought of everything.
They really have.
Now, I know they mentioned that they've designed their whole operation to address some of the biggest headaches that distributors and smoke shop owners deal with. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, they've really done their homework, figured out what makes people pull their hair out and come up with solutions.
So what are some of the common problems?
Well, for one thing, inconsistent product fit. Like you order a bunch of bowls and the joints don't fit right, or the sizes are mismatched.
Ugh, it's so annoying.
It is, and it wastes time and money. CloverGlass makes sure all their 14 millimeter and 19 millimeter joints are perfectly machined, clearly labeled, and they test the fit during quality control. So no more surprises.
Ah, thank goodness. What else?
Breakage during shipping, that's a big one, as we've discussed. Their solution. That super protective packaging, the annealing process we talked about, and of course that no hassle credit policy. Then there's the issue of not having enough variety. Not being able to offer the latest and greatest stuff that customers are demanding.
Right, got to stay ahead of the trends.
Exactly. That's why they have that massive catalog of over 10,000 CQs and why they're constantly adding new designs every month.
So you never feel like you're falling behind.
Nope. And then there's a challenge of getting good photos and videos to use for marketing.
Yeah, that can be a real pain.
It can, but CloverGlass solves that problem by giving you free HD images and even videos of their products. And finally, there's the issue of high minimum order quantities. A lot of suppliers out there, they make you order a ton of stuff, which can be tough for smaller businesses. But with CloverGlass, you can order as few as 50 pieces from their US stock.
That's amazing. It's like they really get the struggles of running a business in this industry.
They really do.
All right, so looking ahead, what are some of the big trends that everyone in the cannabis accessories world needs to be paying attention to as we head deeper into 2025?
There are a few things happening that are really going to shake things up.
Okay, lay it on me.
First of all, personalization and aesthetics, those are becoming more and more important. People want stuff that reflects their individual style, their taste.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you got to have a ton of color options, unique features like glow-in-the-dark stuff, designs that are really eye-catching.
Right, make it stand out.
Another smart move is to offer those build-your-own-set kind of bundles.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Give people the power to mix and match and create something that feels totally unique to them.
Love it. What else?
The second big trend, portability. Smaller tools, more discreet designs, those are becoming super popular, especially with the younger folks.
Makes sense. Got to be on the go.
Exactly. Think compact dab rigs, nectar collectors, and those portable kits that are made of silicone or hybrid materials. Those are definitely worth stocking.
It's funny how these trends reflect what's happening in so many other industries. Like everything has to be portable and customizable now.
It's true.
Okay, so what else do we need to know?
Well, the whole concentrate market is exploding.
Yeah, concentrates are huge right now.
And as more places legalize them, the demand for concentrate tools is only going to go up. So nectar collectors, high-quality quartz nails and bangers, even things like dab torches. Make sure you've got a good supply of that stuff.
Good to know.
Another trend we're seeing, people are starting to care more about sustainability and durability.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Products made from high-quality borosilicate glass, which lasts forever, and those reusable grinders, they're becoming more and more popular.
People are more conscious of their impact these days.
They are. And last but not least, presentation matters. Suppliers who offer products in really nice packaging, stuff that looks good on display and makes the product feel more valuable, they're definitely winning.
So important. That first impression can make all the difference. It sounds like CloverGlass is already ahead of the curve with a lot of these trends, especially with all their variety and their focus on customization.
They really are.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, CloverGlass sounds like a great fit for my business.
Uh-huh.
What's the next step? How do they actually start working with them?
Really easy process. For stuff in their LA warehouse, the minimum order is just 50 pieces.
That's so low.
Now, if you're doing custom stuff, OEM or ODM, the minimum order is a bit higher, somewhere between 300 and 500 pieces. Just depends on what you're ordering and how complex the customization is. They're happy to send samples. Usually you just cover the shipping. And they've got a full image catalog that you can check out for free. It's a great way to see everything they offer.
Okay, so samples and a catalog. Easy enough. And what about actually placing an order? How does that work?
Best way to start is to reach out to them directly. Email or WhatsApp works great. Tell them what you're interested in. You can reference specific products from their catalog. Or if you're not sure where to start, just tell them about your business and your target market. They can make suggestions based on current trends.
So they can help you figure it out.
Exactly. Then they'll send you a detailed quote with photos and a shipping estimate based on your location and how much you're ordering. Once you give them the thumbs up, they send an invoice, and then you can either have your order delivered or pick it up from their LA warehouse.
Sounds super straightforward.
It is. They really emphasize building long-term relationships, so they want to make sure that first experience is smooth and easy. They're all about making sure everyone wins.
Yeah, I love that. All right, can you give us their contact info one more time?
Sure. Their email is frank@cloverpipe.com. Their website is www.cloverglasspipe.com. They're on Instagram too. Their handle is @cloverglasspipe. And if you prefer WhatsApp, just reach out and they'll give you their number.
Perfect. We'll make sure to include all that in the show notes too. So as we wrap things up here, what's the most important thing you want our listeners to remember about choosing a wholesale supplier in this crazy market?
It all boils down to this. A supplier shouldn't just be a supplier, they should be a partner.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
And CloverGlass, with their experience, that U.S. warehouse, their huge product selection, their customization options, and their commitment to supporting their clients, they really get that.
It sounds like they've really built their entire business around understanding the needs of this market and helping their customers succeed.
They have.
So for everyone listening, think about this. How could partnering with a supplier like CloverGlass change your game? Could it help you reach a whole new level? And what are the next big trends in smoking accessories that you could be capitalizing on with the right support and the right products? It might be time to reach out to CloverGlass, check out their catalog, see what they're all about. Who knows? You might just find the perfect partner to help you build something amazing in this exciting industry.